Thousands of lawmakers will converge on Minnesota over the next 13 months to share their thoughts and ideas on some issues facing Minnesota as well. Now, joining us is Senator Sandy Pappas, the President of the Senate. She's spearheading efforts to welcome these lawmakers, and we welcome you to the Capitol Report set. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with these two conferences. We have the 2013 annual regional meeting of the Council of State Governments.
That's right.
And the 2014 annual meeting of the National Conference of State Legislators. So in your opinion, what does it mean for Minnesota to be hosting these events?
It's a fabulous opportunity to showcase what a wonderful place Minnesota is. And we're very proud that our own Representative Alice Hausman from St. Paul is the chair of the regional conference. And she and her staff have done a fabulous job. I've helped a little in putting events together for this conference, which will be in St. Paul in July.
And the other conference, again, with so many people coming in, what does Minnesota gain by hosting something like these two conferences?
Well, people come for and bring their families, and they come and they make it an extended vacation. So we have a fabulous spouse and children's program to showcase the aquarium at the Mall of America, the riverboat rides, the Science Museum, the History Center, the Ordway, so many regional amenities that we have. Plus, we're tapping into kind of our regional famous people. Anne Bancroft is going to speak at the conference. Regent Patty Simmons is going to talk about the Mayo story at the conference. And then we'll also be hosting national figures like John Meacham, who is a very well-known Pulitzer Prize-winning historian.
So you're obviously excited about this. As the Senate President, you're well-versed in the many issues that confront Minnesota and other states as well. So if you could you give us a flavor for some of the issues that you're expecting to be brought up and discussed?
Well, workforce development is going to be one thing. Everyone's looking at their educational systems and how they can better prepare children and college students for the future. Water quality is very important in the Midwest and in the Canadian provinces, so that will be a big issue. And energy issues in general, there'll be a special field trip to the St. Paul District Energy, which is unique in the country because it supplies energy to the downtown St. Paul and to the Capitol through wood waste, primarily renewable resource. All the committees will be meeting, talking about health care, as I said, education, environmental and energy issues, transportation issues. There's a full menu of issues that will be discussed for the 700, 800 participants.
And Senator, states' rights have become a growing issue in the nation. So with states fighting to shape their own policies on things like immigration, healthcare, and voting security, do you think there's a shift in governance, in your opinion, from a centralized Congress to a legislative state house?
It's always been a tension in American history as to how much power the federal government has and how much power the states have. And it is an argument that we should be making policy on some of these broader issues, especially things that involve climate change on a national level. But the states are impatient, and if Congress is in gridlock and not able to get things done, then the states step into the vacuum. So you see that with both the Council of State Governments and with the National Conference of State Legislators, a lot of policy going on the local level.
And do you think Minnesota is perhaps a showcase in this area as well, particularly with the health insurance exchange?
Well, certainly in that case, we're one of the early states to have adopted the Affordable Care Act and the implementation of that. But in many ways, Minnesota has not been keeping up. So I think we will have things to learn from our colleagues from other states and certainly from the 4 Canadian provinces that are part of this organization.
And Senator, viewers who are watching this might be saying that they hope that they're not paying for these conferences. Are they funded separately? How is the funding mechanism
designed? The funding is actually, we solicit sponsors for the funding. So the taxpayers' dollars are not being spent. Even for our own participation, we are allowed to solicit dollars from corporate sponsors and labor sponsors, and that's how we pay for these conferences.
And somebody might also be interested in volunteering. What should they do if they are indeed interested?
Well, actually, you have to be a state employee. We have all the volunteers that we need from the group of state employees that are spending some of their summertime volunteering at these conferences.
Finally, Senator, what do you hope all of these legislators and their families walk away from Minnesota knowing about our state that perhaps they didn't know before?
Well, certainly I hope that they learned a lot at the conference, but I also obviously hope that they find out that Minnesotans are friendly people, that it's a beautiful place to visit in the summer, that they thoroughly enjoy themselves, and they plan to return.
Okay, Senator Sandy Pappas, thank you for your time. We certainly appreciate it.
You're welcome.